What's up guys, Jeff Cavalier, @NGØT.com. It's another Bodyweight Wednesday video. That means it's time for me to help you get more out of your bodyweight training. Now, don't tell me you're not training with your own bodyweight. I don't care if you're a huge iron addict, you better make sure you're carving out at least a little piece for bodyweight training because there's nothing that can replicate the command of your own body in space. As a matter of fact, we're gonna up that command right here today by including an overlooked element of your training, and that is isometrics. Now, I've talked about isometrics here on this channel before, but I think people overlook their importance. They think of isometrics as easy things, right? I'm not contracting them, or I'm not shortening a muscle, I'm not lengthening a muscle, I'm just hanging out. It doesn't have to be that easy. As a matter of fact, where and how you incorporate your isometrics, especially into bodyweight training, can make all the difference. So here's what I'm suggesting. Take a look here at a standard push-up exercise. Now, we've talked about before how a push-up may not be the most challenging exercise for your chest for somebody that's capable of bench pressing and lifting a lot of weight. However, you can make it much harder by inserting isometric holds into the normal set that you're doing. So I can decide to pause here after a few regular repetitions in the bottom portion of the rep or the middle portion of the rep, or as I'm demonstrating even on the top portion of a rep. What I'm doing here though is not just hanging out. I'm actively engaging as many muscles as I can to hold this position. So what you might not be able to see here is I'm actually squeezing and dragging my hands together like this on the floor to try to engage more activation of my chest. And believe me, I can feel it, but I don't just stop there. Then I try to resume my normal repetitions. And if you haven't tried this technique before, you're in for a rude awakening because you may not be able to get that many more regular repetitions. But remember, who cares? Because we're not counting. All we're doing is measuring the utter and the ultimate effect that this will have on you and your body in this set. Taking it to failure, taking it beyond failure, making sure you get enough out of it. And the same thing here applies to other exercises. I can go up on a pull-up bar, which is already a difficult exercise for some, but for those that don't find it difficult enough and that don't have access to any weight to put on their body for an overload, try the isometric holds intermittently. Again, try them in the bottom, try them at the top, try them in the middle. Wherever you try them, try to then resume normal reps after it. And like I said, it's a much different effect. It will dramatically shorten the length of your set if you're used to doing rep after rep after rep, but with the ultimate goal of getting you more from that set. We can even take it to the extreme with a more difficult exercise, a handstand push-up. And again, look what happens even here. I'm still doing the same idea of pulling my hands together when I'm in the low isometric hold, but on top of that, you can even see muscles in my back that wouldn't necessarily have a chance to activate, become activated because their role as stabilizers becomes that much more important when I slow down the rep. So when I get it in here and I actually want to stop and hold, now all of a sudden, their job becomes that much more imperative to kick in and allow me to maintain my stabilization in this position. It's not easy, but guess what? The ultimate effect on my entire back and my shoulder girdle is enhanced. And finally, we're going to actually hit our abs here in a new exercise to sort of wrap up this whole video and also drive home this concept. It's a modified L-sit, or really just a suspended sit. But here's the cool part. It's difficult enough to hold an L-sit. It's still difficult to hold this sort of bent knee sit. But it's even more difficult to hold it in either position, the bottom or the top. And we're going to do just that. We're going to provide our body with this elevated hip tuck. That's the dynamic portion. But at any point in time, we got to be able to stop and hold it and maintain our 4 or 5 second hold. Then come and what do? We resume the reps. You're not going to be able to go for that much longer. But as I said earlier, it doesn't matter how long you last. What matters is how much you make it count. That's what makes muscles grow. That's what makes all the difference when you're trying to get more from your bodyweight training. If you found this video helpful, guys, make sure to leave your comments and thumbs up below. If you're looking for a complete bodyweight training program that utilizes no equipment at all, not even the benches that I showed here, not even the pull-up bar that I was on, trains your entire body with the main goal of helping you to build muscle by incorporating advanced techniques like I just showed you here, head to @NGØT.com to get our Athlete Zero program. All right, guys, I'll be back here again in just a couple days. See ya.